Hello everyone and welcome to this Warhammer 40k 8th edition competitive style battle report. I am Brady and today I'm here with my buddy Michele and we are going to be playing Imperial Guard versus Alpha Legion. So let's take a look at the armies. Here we have 2,000 points of Imperial Guard. I believe this is going to be a Cadian detachment, correct?
Yeah.
Alright, so tell us what we're working with today.
I have a patrol of Space Marines, Ultramarines. This is a Chief Librarian Tigerius, I believe.
Okay.
And that's with a scout squad.
Yeah. And sorry guys that it's not fully painted. It's the only thing in his army that's not fully painted. We're working on it, but we needed it for today. So hopefully you guys can deal with that.
Then I got a Lord Commissar in my battalion. Then Knight Commander Pask with flamers and a las cannon and a Gatling cannon. Then I have 3 squads of infantry squads, 2 with Vox casters, and this is a las cannon, sorry. It's an auto cannon, but...
So we're going to count it as a las cannon today?
That's cool.
Yeah, sure, why not?
And then this is a las cannon, and then the second one has no Vox caster and las cannon. Then I have a squad of Tempestus Militarum Scions, I believe. And I have 2 melta-guns in them. And then I have a squad of Bulgrins, and 2 with brute shields, and 1 with a slab shield. Then I have a demolisher with melta guns and a las cannon. Then for my 2nd battalion, I have my warlord, which is a company commander with a plasma pistol. 2 company commanders just base, just with las pistols and chainswords, which they don't have on them, but so the bases. Then I have 3 squads of infantry with las cannons, and 1 has a box caster just for points wise. And then I have the same squad of military scions, or militarum scions. And then I have 4 Toroxes with...
They're the Torox Prime, right?
Yeah, Torox Primes.
Okay.
So 2 of them have the missile pods on them. And then 2 of them have the Gatling cannons on them with storm bolters. All of them have storm bolters, and they have the hot shot polygons on the side. It's the first time I'm using them, so hope they work out.
Okay, so who's your warlord today?
I'm the commander.
What's the warlord trait he's gonna have?
Supreme Command Tactics. It's the Cadian warlord trait.
Okay. So that is going to be 2,000 points of Imperial Guard. This is 2,000 points of Chaos Soup. So I'm going to start with the Outrider detachment of Chaos Demons. It's going to be led by a Khorne Demon Prince who has 2 claws, so the sword is just going to be decoration, and 3 units of 5 Flesh Hounds. We're also using the new rules from the Chaos Codex that isn't out yet, so you can look forward to those. Then moving over, we have an Alpha Legion detachment, a battalion detachment. Leading it is going to be this Chaos Lord with plasma pistol and chainsword. And then we have our Chaos Sorcerer with plasma pistol and force sword. We have 3 units of 10 cultists. 1 with all auto guns, 1 with just pistols, and the other one is a mix of pistols and auto guns. And again, sorry they're not fully painted, but we're working with what we got here. We then have 4 Hellbrutes with twin las cannon and missile launcher. And then we have a Helldrake, and that finishes out the Alpha Legion battalion detachment. Then we have a super heavy auxiliary detachment with Magnus the Red. So that's going to be 2,000 points of Chaos Soup or Alpha Legion, or Chaos, however you want to look at it. Board that we're going to be playing on today. As you can see, we got the same deployment as the last battle report, which is the triangle hammer and anvil. I always forget the name. I'm horrible with names if you guys haven't noticed. I'm great at remembering rules, but I can't remember the names of the rules. We're playing the scenario number 6 for the ITC missions. I'll probably post it right now so you guys can read it real quick. And yeah, I won the roll-off to determine deployment, which means Michele will be the first one to place down a unit. So we'll be back after the deployment's done. We're finished deploying, and I was able to drop my whole army first. And there's something very interesting about this that you guys might notice about my deployment zone. There's something very big missing. Magnus is using the Denizens of the Warp stratagem, paid 2 command points to put Magnus in Deep Strike Reserve. So I have some ideas with this. I don't know if it's the best choice because he's not going to be a distraction Carnifex for turn 1. I'm giving up using Magnus as a distraction Carnifex and instead letting him shoot at all of my -1 to hit stuff. And Magnus is then going to deep strike somewhere over here and cause some havoc for the guard. So yeah, that's where Magnus is he's hiding in the warp right now. So if you guys are wondering how I was able to do that, because I have a Chaos Demon detachment, I get access to the Chaos Demon stratagems. And according to the keywords on that stratagem for Denizen of the Warp, you can see that the keyword is for demons, or anything with the demon keyword. Magnus has the demon keyword. So, therefore, because I have a demon detachment, I get access to that stratagem, and I can use that stratagem on anything that applies. And Magnus does apply because he matches the keyword. So because of that, Magnus is going to be hiding on turn 1, possibly turn 2, who knows? We'll see how long he stays in the warp for. So anyways, like I said earlier, I ended up getting my army down first, so I will get the +1 to determine who goes first. So Michele, if you wouldn't mind, roll off with me. So we both got a 6, because he has a 6, and I have a 5 + 1.
Oh my, tie
so
again.
Tie again. So reroll.
Wait, you really want to go first now? Oh my god.
And I beat you by 1 because of the +1. So I am going to go first. Would you like to try to seize the initiative?
I would.
Okay, you need a 6.
Okay, yeah. Oh!
Nope, it's a 2. So that means Alpha Legion Chaos. Turn 1. We have the end of Chaos's movement. By the way, I don't know if Michele mentioned it, but he has the Relic of Lost Cadia on one of his guys. Which one was it that has it?
My Warlord.
Warlord, the guy hiding in the middle? Okay. And also, you guys probably didn't see it. We should have mentioned this. So the deployment for the guard looks like this. He's got his 2 missile launcher Torox primes in the back. He's got a bunch of infantry squads with last cannons just taking up space so Magnus couldn't deep strike in his lines. He has some scouts over here. He has another Torox, the anti-infantry Torox over here. And then he has Pask and the Demolisher cannon up front, which it probably wasn't the smartest idea because now Magnus drops in and he's going to say hi. So just to explain some stuff real quick to let you know my strategy, he has his Librarian hidden in that building, right? So if I deep struck right there, 9 inches away from where I wanted to, that Librarian has a small chance, but still a chance, of denying any of the spells that I want to put off, or that I want to cast. So instead, I made sure to put Magnus 24 inches away from the Librarian, so all of his spells will be able to go off with no problem as long as he rolls well. Then he can still do warp time, and he'll move about 2 or 3 inches away from the Demolisher cannon. So he'll still be able to get his charge off as long as everything goes as planned. Speaking of which, that's going to be it for the movement. So Demon Dogs advanced, and they just... the Cultists moved out of the way slightly, and the Demons ran up that way. Demon Prince also. Cultists back there are still just chilling. Make a big bubble of denying area, kind of like he did, because I don't want his Scions popping into my lines and shooting at my Hellbrutes. So yeah, I did that, so now he's not going to be able to deep strike anywhere in my... well, in the back of my deployment. He could do it in the front. So with that said, I believe that's it for movement. Let me just double check again. Yeah, everything looks good, so let's move on to Psychic. So first off, we're going to do Prescience on this Hellbrute right here. And it does not go off, because I'm pretty sure Prescience takes a 7. And then we're going to cast Delightful Agonies on that same first Hellbrute. And that goes off, so that Hellbrute now has Delightful Agonies. That was all done by this sorcerer right here that's kind of hiding in the shadow of the Hellbrute. So now, moving on to the big baddie. First things first, he's going to use his +1 invulnerable, which is called Weaver of Fates. And it goes off, and it can't be denied because he's out of range. So Magnus now has a 3-up invulnerable re-rolling 1s. Alright, so the next thing Magnus is going to do is he's going to cast Smite all the way down range on that guy right there. By the way, Magnus is going to have Infernal Gaze, Warp Time, and Weaver of Fates. And as you probably already figured out, the Sorcerer is going to have Delightful Agonies, because everything in my Alpha Legion part of my army is going to be Slanesh, so it will work with that spell. And also the other one is going to be Prescience on that sorcerer. So back to Magnus. He's going to now cast Smite on this Demolisher since it's the closest target. And it goes off on a 11, so that's 2d6 mortal wounds because of Magnus. For only 4 mortal wounds.
Sorry. Should have fucking put him behind the lines. But
yeah, I don't know why you didn't put a screen out front.
I don't know. I was just thinking
you wanted to get, like, I know what you were thinking. It's because the guns on them have like very short range, so you wanted to put them up as close as possible to start shooting stuff. But you didn't take defense into account, and you didn't take not going first into account.
Fuck though.
Sorry. So the next spell that Magnus is going to cast is going to be Warp Time. So it goes off on a 6, but because Magnus has a +2 just because he's Magnus, I need a 4. It goes off on an 8, so Magnus gets to move his full movement. So that's where Magnus ends up after Warp Time. So there is no way he's going to fail a charge against that Demolisher cannon. And he might be able to charge Pask if the Hellbrutes that are staring Pask down don't end up doing the job. So with that will be the end of the Psychic phase. Now we're moving into the Shooting phase. Alright, so now moving on to the Shooting phase. So, even though Michele watched the battle report from the other day, he still made the same mistake Ryan did. Which is, Pask happens to be the closest model to my Hellbrutes. Meaning, I can use the Fire Frenzy stratagem to make my Hellbrute shoot all of its weapons twice at the nearest target. Meaning, the Hellbrute that got Prescience and is hitting on 2s is going to have 4 last cannons and 2 missile launchers to shoot at Pask. How does that make you feel?
Fucked up, man. The past, the king protects, the emperor will protect, so...
Well, you okay, so hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s because of the Chaos Lord. So they all hit. Pask is strength 8, correct?
Yeah.
So the orange ones, which are missile launchers, will wound on 4s. The blue ones that are last cannons will wound on 3s. Oh, you got kind of lucky there. So you got a 5 up and a 6 up.
5 up. Yes, and 6 up. Yes. 2 fails.
Alright, so 2d6 damage on them.
Oh!
10 damage. That is brutal.
Oh.
So Pask is now down to 2 wounds after being shot by that one Hellbrute. So far my shooting phase is looking pretty good, and I still got 3 Hellbrutes left to fire. So the next one's gonna go. So this Hellbrute hits on a 3 and re-rolls 1s. So there's a 1 in there. Oh, and then he wounds on a 3. So we have a wound, you have a 6 up save. No. So d6 damage, looking for at least a 2 here. We got a 5. So does Pask blow up? That will be first blood, although in this mission it doesn't matter because I didn't take the old school secondary. At least I don't remember taking it. Yeah, so Pask is now dead. That was a very good 2 Hellbrutes worth of fire. So the final 2 Hellbrutes, which will be the 2 that are on the farthest away from the camera, they're gonna fire at that Torox Prime right there. It's the only thing in range, so I'm just gonna roll both of them at the same time because there's nothing else they're gonna shoot at. So we have hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Holy crap. So that was this many hits. We then wound on 3s because it's only toughness 6.
Oh.
You then have 1 -2 and 4 -3 saves to make.
So -4.
-4. Failed, and then the 4 -3s. Failed all of them. So 5d6 on that one Torox. I think it's dead.
Yeah. Does it blow up?
Does it blow up? No. Torox Prime gone. So far, the chaos shooting has been great this turn. We got really lucky, was able to blow up Pask and take out a Torox Prime. So that's going to give me max points on Kingslayer because Pask had 12 wounds, and for every 3 wounds I did to him, I got a point. So I should be maxed out on that at 4 points. I also get 2 points for Big Game Hunter since I killed 2 things with more than 10 wounds. So far we're off to a great start. The last thing that Chaos has to shoot this turn, because nothing else is in range of anything, is going to be the Hell Turkey. And he's going to fire at the Bolgrins. So the Hell Turkey is going to auto hit. How many times? 5 times. He's then going to wound on 3s because you're only toughness 5. So you have 4 -2s.
Okay, so I'm going to do take cover. It's a stratagem, it's 1 point. I have a +1 to my saves.
So this is going on the slab shield.
Good.
And because he has a 3-up save because of the stratagem he just used, which, what was the stratagem called again?
Take cover.
Take cover, which gives them a +1 to their saves.
And how much did...
Oh wait, but you're supposed to be, so you get a plus, so your slab shield's a 3, right?
Yeah, everything's a 3.
And then you get a +1, so it's a 2. You have 4-ups if you do it that way, because it's -2.
But my slab shield's a 2-up.
And then I -2, but then you +1, so yeah, it's a 3. Okay, I'm done.
No, it's okay. How many did you hit me with?
I hit you with 4,
5.
so you have 2 more.
Oh.
And you failed both, so the guy's dead, because it
Okay.
takes 4 damage. There we go. I just killed the slab shield. So that looks like the end of the shooting phase for Chaos, or Chaos Soup, or Alpha Legion, however you want to look at it. So now with that done, we are going to go into the charge phase. Which also, I feel the need that I should mention. The reason I started all of my melee stuff so far back is because just in case I didn't go first, I didn't want all my stuff to just instant die. I wanted to be out of range. I wanted all of my infantry to be out of range of his anti-infantry. So that way I could just kind of wait until Magnus made a grand appearance, and that way Magnus will now be my distraction Carnifex while my dogs and Demon Prince get to hopefully run up the board unscathed. We'll see though. So moving into the charge phase, Magnus is going to charge your Demolisher cannon thingy.
Okay.
So you have Overwatch.
Use a stratagem, defensive gunners. +1 to all Overwatch from Astra Militarum vehicle.
Okay.
So the Demolish Cannon gets D3 shots.
Yeah, that's
3.
3. Not bad. So
Hitting
then
on-
you'll hit on 5s.
Nothing.
Okay, and then you have your sponsons.
That's with 2 multi-multis.
Okay.
Hitting on 5s. 1 hit.
Okay, you wound on a 3. Unfortunate.
And then the last cannon.
Then one last cannon, looking for a 5.
Nothing.
And then Magnus is going to charge. So he's pretty much auto in, but let's see how far I can get. I got 5. So I'm going to do that to bring him around right there. Okay, so Magnus is going to end his charge right there. Now I charge with the Hell Turkey, but I actually had to advance with the Hell Turkey in order to get in range of the Bolgrins. So the Hell Turkey's not going to be able to charge, and the rest of my army definitely isn't in any range to charge anything. Okay, so now we're in the fight phase. Magnus is the only thing anywhere near anybody to fight, and Magnus gets 7 attacks. Magnus hits on 2s and rerolls 1s. And this one. So he missed 1, but that 6 right there has Death to the False Emperor, which means if I'm swinging against an Imperium model, and I'm pretty sure that's an Imperium model, I get an extra attack for any 6s. So that 6 generates an extra attack, and now all of them hit. So I have all 7 hit. Magnus is strength 16, meaning he wounds basically everything in the game on 2s. So strength 16 doubles out your toughness 8, so 2s. You have 5 -4s, so unless you have an invulnerable, you're just taking all that. So you die, because it's 3 damage each, so you took 15 damage. Do you explode?
No, I don't know.
You do not.
I'm gonna clean up planet.
There we go. Magnus is not going to consolidate because I don't want you smacking with anybody. So yeah, we're just going to leave it like that. So when it comes to morale, I didn't really touch any of the infantry squads. I'm pretty sure the Bolgrin have at least a leadership 7, so they're not going to run based off of the one guy dying. And yeah, so leadership is fine. And although I'm pretty sure the Imperial Guard's morale is pretty low after that turn.
Lumen Russ is down.
So yeah, that's going to be the end of Chaos turn 1. Let's see if the Astra Militarum or Imperial Guard can come back in this one. Going into Imperial Guard turn 1. So that's the Astra Militarum after their movement phase. I don't think really much moved other than the Bolgrins, correct?
Yeah.
And then the Scouts. That's really all that moved. Everything else, as Cadian normally does, just stand still because they want their reroll ones. So going into the Psychic phase then.
Oh, actually, I want to drop some things in.
Oh, you want to drop some stuff? Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the end of the... Oh, also, Michele did declare he's using his relic for the Vengeance of Cadia, I think it's called.
Lost Cadian.
Vengeance for Lost Cadia, or whatever the hell it's called. The thing that allows him to reroll a bunch of crap against Chaos stuff. So yeah, Magnus is going to be in for some hurting on this turn, I think. So now he deployed his 2 Deep Strike units, the Scions or Scions, right there, 9 inches away from Magnus. So we're moving into Psychic phase.
Alright, I'm going to cast Nolzum with my Librarian hiding in here.
Okay.
So
it's Warp Charge 8, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
You got it on a 9. You have a 9. I need at least an 8 to deny because Magnus gets a +2. So I got this. So this is a big deal, so I'm going to command reroll this one because I really want Magnus to keep his invulnerable save. And I deny it. That was huge. Otherwise, Magnus was definitely dead to rights. So that leaves Chaos at 4 command points to the, I believe, 6 of Astra Militarum. Or wait, no, you had 9, right?
No, yeah, I had 9.
And how many did you spend so far? You spent
2.
1 on the so to the 7 of Astra Militarum. So continuing the Psychic phase, can he cast anything else?
Yeah, Smite.
Okay, he's going to try to Smite. Goes off on a 7, meaning Magnus needs a 6 to deny because it was +2, and I deny. I denied both spells. Now moving into the shooting phase.
Well, commands.
Well, I guess commands. Yep.
Actually, they don't really matter this turn because I have the Relic of Cadia, so I get to
reroll everything anyways.
So I can't really do anything. I mean, I can
so just to save time, you won't do it then?
Well, actually, I'll do first rank fire, second rank fire. So I'll do it on this squad. Or wait, where's my commander? Sorry. So I'll do it on this squad. And this guy has a Vox caster, and I'm within 3 inches. So I'm going to cast my second order to this squad. So those guys have first rank and then second rank fire. And then this guy is going to give the command to... Actually, I don't think he's in range of anybody now.
What is it, 3 inches?
3 inches.
Oh wow, yeah, you're not in range. Maybe that squad?
Yeah, just the one squad there. Okay. Maybe this guy back here.
No, not
so
that.
Just that guy. Okay. And then on a 4+, it does it on somebody else, but he's not in range of anybody.
Okay.
And then this guy's not in range of anybody either, so... That's,
okay, so that's that. So moving on to shooting then.
I'll start with my 4 melta-guns from here into... Because there's 2 squads there, but I'll shoot them together because they're shooting at the same time. So hitting on 3s.
That is correct.
1 miss. And then wounding on 3s. So 3 wounds.
Magnus has a 3-up, reroll them. Oops. Magnus has a 3-up, reroll them 1s. Makes them all. So now the ones with the hotshot volley guns shooting into Magnus. Hitting on 3s. And then wounding on, what's the strength of these guns?
3.
So 6s. Nothing.
I'm going to shoot these 2 missiles. Missile launcher, these 2 Toroxes at Magnus.
Okay, so you're just going to fire them at the same time?
Yep, so that's 4 shots hitting on 3s.
So you got 2 hits.
And then wounding on 3s. 2 wounds.
3-ups, reroll them 1s. I'm okay.
So I'm going to shoot this last cannon.
The one way in the back. Yeah, you can see Magnus for sure. Okay, those wings are ridiculous. You see them from the whole board.
Hitting on a 4, re-rolling everything. Miss. They're re-rolling. Misses. Then I'm going to shoot this last cannon at Magnus. Misses. Hits.
Wounds on a 3.
Oh, sorry.
Let's see. What is it? So it's a wound. 3-up, re-roll them 1s. I'm okay.
This last cannon back here through the building and shooting him.
Okay.
Hits. Does not wound, but I'm re-rolling because of relic. 5.
3-up, re-roll them 1s. We're good.
This last cannon at Magnus. Misses.
But the relic
Hits.
wounds. 3 up, rerolling 1s.
Oh, Magnus.
This is the strength of Magnus when he gets to go first and doesn't get death hexed or null zoned, which almost happened. I got scared for a minute. My butt was clenching for a second. But yeah, Magnus is still good to go.
This last cannon at Magnus.
So another last cannon. How many fucking last cannons do you have?
Not enough, apparently.
1 hit. No wound, but re-rolling because of the Cadian stratagem. Or relic, whatever the hell that stupid thing is. 3 up, re-rolling, hey.
Okay, so the last cannon.
The last cannon. The last of the Mohicans. It hits. It wounds. 3 up. Oh, but I re-roll the ones.
Yeah, but you re-roll.
Hey.
So
Magnus
close.
is so strong, man.
No, this is so... Oh, man. I'll do my Gatling cannon into your... turkey, or whatever you want to call it.
So this Torox Prime is firing downrange at that Hell Turkey, or Hell Drake, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot my hot shot volley guns first.
Okay, so hit on 3s.
Not re-rolling. Because,
It's only the Cadians that reroll,
Yep.
right?
And then...
6s. Because if it's strength 3.
Strength 4.
So 5s.
but
So 5 up demon save. So I fail it.
1 wound.
So the Hell Drake is down to 11 wounds.
So then 20 shots from my Torox Gatling cannon.
Okay.
Hits on 3s.
And then you wound on 5s, I believe, because it's strength 6 or something?
4.
Oh, so still 5s.
So you got 6 save.
6 regular saves?
Yep.
So 6 3-up armors on the Hell Drake. Failed 1. So the Hell Drake is now down to 10 wounds. Then we have the Storm Bolter, the final gun being shot this turn.
So, both hits.
So anyways, both of those hit.
And then 1 wound.
1 wound. So I have another 3-up save, which I make anyways. So moving into, I believe, the charge phase, because there's nothing else left to shoot. So that was a pretty bad shooting phase, if I say so myself. Magnus just made way too many 3-ups, and he was able to deny null zone, which I was talking to Michele about already. He should have included a Caluxus Assassin in his list, which in this instance wouldn't have made a difference based off of the rolls, but it still would have helped in case I didn't roll so high. So yeah, he knows better for next time. He's already learned a couple of things, like don't put his guys out front. Michele already knows he needs a screen. I don't know why he didn't do it in this game.
Well, I was thinking I was getting first. Roll the 6, roll the 5.
So it was high risk, high reward. You just wanted to go first and blow some stuff up.
Another thing was too, like my tanks would have been out of range of those hull brutes, and they would have been behind this huge screen. So I was thinking if I went first, but this game,
it's looking pretty bad for the guard so far.
I think this is a lot.
It's looking like this is the reason why Cadian got blown up.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't hit shit. All right, so moving into the charge phase, I believe we have at least 1 charge if they're brave enough. So the Bulgrins are going to charge Magnus. I have no Overwatch. So they're in. So they now get to attack. 3 attacks each.
Well, the Bonehead gets 4 attacks base.
Is that what the sergeant's called, a Bonehead?
The Bonehead.
That's hilarious.
And then the base guy gets 3, but since they charge the Avalanche and Muscle special rule, they get 1 each.
So 5 and 4. 9 attacks. That's pretty brutal. I assume they hit on 3s.
3s? Okay, I miss 4.
Okay, and then you wound on...
Strength 7.
So 4s.
So 3 wounds.
3 up invul, reroll them 1s. Rerolling the 1s. So he fails 1. How much damage is it?
2 damage.
So I have 2 6 up, feel no pain, since that's the Warlord trait I took. So he takes 2 damage. So Magnus is now at 16 wounds after being clubbed over the knee by these Bulgrins. So now Magnus gets his revenge. Magnus has 7 attacks and he hits on 2s and rerolls 1s. And also 6s are us hating the Imperium. So because of those 3 6s and the death to the False Emperor rule, I get another 3 attacks. If they get more 6s, it doesn't generate even more though. That would be a little too strong. So out of 7 attacks, I got 10 hits. And I wound you on 2s. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wounds to go through at -4.
Okay, so they got 4 up invuls.
Both of them do?
Yeah, because the brute shields.
Okay, so just roll them at the same time if that's it.
So I fail too.
So they're both dead. Just 3 damage each.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was actually the best roll I've ever rolled in my life.
It still wasn't good enough. So that is the end of the Astra Militarum's turn. So it looks really, really bad so far. Magnus got all of his saves off. He did not get null zoned, which in all honesty, if null zone went off, Magnus was dead to rights. And he had a good roll for it too. I just had a better roll to deny. Okay, so we're at the end of battle round 1. So now it's time for the scoring. So for me, I definitely killed something. And I definitely killed more than Michele did. Because I killed his 3 tanks and he only did a little bit of damage to Magnus and the Hell Turkey. Then for objectives, I am on an objective, but I, at the end of my turn, was only holding 1 objective, so I didn't have more than Michele. Kingslayer, I maxed out because I killed Pask on turn 1, which is a reason why I don't think Pask is very good in this ITC format, because just by killing him, I maxed that out, plus got a point for Big Game Hunter. And if I had Headhunter as well, that would be another point on top of it. So for killing Pask, I'd get 6 points in the ITC format, which is pretty ridiculous. But I didn't pick Headhunter. Instead I have Big Game Hunter, which I would score 3 for because I did kill the 2 Taurochs, or no, I killed the 2 Leman Russes and 1 Taurochs. And then for the Reaper, I didn't touch any of his infantry squads yet, so that's still fine. Then for Michele. Michele did not kill something. He was on an objective though. The bonus, neither of us are controlling our opponent's super objective, which I don't know if I mentioned, but mine, that's my objective. The one that, primary objective is what we call it. And that's Michele's prime objective right there. And just to give you a little showing of where that is in retrospect, there you go. So neither of us got the mission bonus. For Kingslayer, you only did 2 wounds to Magnus. You need to do 3 to get a point. Recon, you didn't even leave your deployment zone, so you're definitely not getting that. And Old School, you didn't kill anything on the first turn. So, let's tally up the score. So at the end of turn 1, it is 10-1 for Chaos. That's very unfortunate for Cadian. We are at the end of Chaos's movement for turn 2. Magnus just shimmied up so that he's equal distance from that scout squad and the librarian. And I'm going to do something really cheeky once we get into the fight phase that I'll show you guys later. But for now, that's where Magnus is going to stay. He didn't move very far, he just moved a little bit. The dogs right there, they moved up a little bit. They're going to try their chance at charging those scouts. Those cultists advanced up the board. They rolled a 6, so they got pretty far. Their buddies, though, only rolled a 1, so they didn't get as far. All of the Hellbrutes moved up their 8 inches, and the cultists just got nestled tightly back there to sit on my priority objective. And the Hell Turkey flew all the way over here. He's going to harass that Taurochs for the rest of the game so it can't shoot. So with that said, we're going into Chaos Psychic phase. We're going to have the Sorcerer give prescience to the Hellbrute that's a little bit farther up. And it does not go off. He's then going to try to give the Lightful Agonies to the Hellbrute that's a little bit more up front. And it does go off. So that Hellbrute now has the Lightful Agonies. Magnus is now going to cast Smite. And I'm going to target the Librarian. And yes, I can see the Librarian because of my wings. Because normally you can't see through the bottom windows, right? But because Magnus's wing is up here, you can look down through that window and see that Librarian.
Like half your body.
Yeah. Nice. So Magnus is going to smite that Librarian, hoping for a 10 or more here. Good. 4. How many can you deny on that guy? 6. So he would need a 7 to deny. I'm not going to re-roll it because that's the best I can do. Okay, so with that, I rolled a 4, but with my +2, that counts as a 6, so he only needs a 7 to deny me here.
But it's a -1 because of my Night of the Witch, the Librarian through that Psychic Hood.
Yep. And you deny it. Then the final spell that Magnus is going to do is he's going to do his Weaver of Fates, which is a +1 invul. And I'm going to re-roll this one because I definitely want this to go off. Well, okay, so I got a 10. You need an 11 to deny.
Yeah.
Well, technically you need a 10 to deny because you have a -1. You got a 12, you deny. How lucky is that? That makes up for the null zone from last turn.
Yeah.
Alright, so with that very bad psychic phase, where Magnus didn't really do anything, really. The strongest psyker in the universe didn't do anything. Got stopped by a lowly little chaos, or not chaos, but just Space Marine librarian. Alright, so let's move into our shooting. We're going to have the Helldrake flame this squad of infantry right here. So auto hitting, 1 time, wounding on a 2. Wounds, you have a no save, just a guy dies. So 1 guy was taken from the squad. Alright, so now I'm going to have the first Hellbrute, which is prescienced. Is going to fire everything at that front squad of Scions. So here's the 2 last cannons, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. So they both hit, wounding on 2s. You got 2 dead guys.
Yeah.
And then for the missile launcher, I'm actually going to do the frag one. So how many shots? I get 3. I hit you on... well, no, it shouldn't be 2s. It should be 3s, but I'm pretty sure I got 3s to hit you anyways. So now hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. I'll hit. Wounding on 3s. You got 2 armor saves.
4 ups? 1 down.
Oh, they have a 4-up?
Yep.
Okay, so Magnus is going to be the first one to fight in the fight phase. He has 7 attacks, but because the Librarian doesn't have an invulnerable save, I'm going to only do 4 attacks against the Librarian, just because I want to make sure he dies, but I don't want to overkill it. Then the other 3 attacks are going to go into this squad right here. So first and foremost, let's do the 4 against the Librarian. We're going to hit on 2s, reroll our 1s. Our 6s are extra hits because we really hate the Imperium. That other 6 does not generate more 6s though. We are strength 16, so we wound the Librarian on 2s. So he takes 9 damage. So there we go. The Librarian was crushed through the wall. And then the 3 attacks against the Guardsman, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. That 6 is extra attacks. Then we wound on 2s. So you have 4 dead Guardsmen.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not going to spend any command points. So moving on, we're going to have the Corn Dogs attack the Scouts. So that's them after the pile-in move. So the dogs get 15 attacks on the charge because of Unstoppable Ferocity, which is a Corn Demon rule for whenever they charge, get charged, or are in a heroic intervention, they get +1 attack and strength. So the dogs hit on 3s. They would be re-rolling 1s if the Demon Prince was around, but he's not. So that's how many hits I get. We then wound on 3s because of Unstoppable Ferocity, making us strength 5. So it looks like you got 4, 8, 10 -1. So 10 5-up saves on your Scouts. So 10 5-up saves. And the Scouts are dead. Bye-bye, Scouts. Or that's the Corn Dogs after their pile-in move, or consolidate, whatever you want to call it. I always mix the 2 up, but you know what I mean. And last but not least, we have the Hell Turkey clawing the back of the Taurox. So the Hell Turkey has 4 attacks, and it hits on 3s. It then wounds on 3s, because you're only strength or toughness 6, right?
Yep.
So 2 wounds at -1.
So 4 ups?
So you failed 1, you take 2 damage. So the Taurox Prime is now at 8 wounds left. Alright, so that's it for all of the Chaos attacks. So now where are we going for the Imperium attacks?
I'm gonna pile...
So we're going to start there?
Yep.
Alright, pile them all in if you would like. So the big guy gets 2, the Sergeant gets 2 plus a chainsword, so 3, so that's 5. Then you got 3 guys, so 8 attacks.
Okay.
So 8 attacks hitting on what I assume is 4s.
Yep. Wounding on 2s.
Wouldn't that be something? So you got a decent amount of hits in there, but now here's the thing. You need 6s to wound Magnus because you're only strength 3 to toughness 7. That's unfortunate.
No.
Prime gets 3 attacks against the Helldrake. Hitting on 6s, like most vehicles. Oh, nothing. So that was the end of the turn, so now we go into the morale. So we have a morale here. They lost 3.
3, I think, yeah. 3.
Yep. So you lost 3, and their leadership is what? 6?
6.
So you need a 3 or less.
And I'm gonna use a command point for their, so they don't, like, it's like you roll a d3 instead of a d6.
Okay, so you're gonna pass no matter what. Yeah, there you go, you pass. Oh, you would have been fine anyways, but you have more than enough command points to start throwing around at this point, so. So now that is the end of Chaos, turn 2. So we did kill something, so we're gonna get a point for that, and we are still on my primary objective back there, so we're still gonna get a point for that. And we are slowly moving up into the Imperium lines to steal their primary objective. We're almost there. Magnus is almost there. And yeah, we'll see if Michele can protect his objectives for his turn 2. So this is the Imperium after their turn 2 movement. So the only things that actually moved is this Taurox drove away from the Hell Turkey, so he's not going to be shooting this turn. Unless he has a rule to shoot, but I'm not aware of that if he does. The guardsmen moved out of combat, so they won't be shooting, but most likely I have a feeling they're getting the order to allow them to shoot again. And then these Scions moved up a little bit, probably to just get in better range of Magnus, and that's it. Everything else stood still. So now we're moving into the Psychic phase. Oh wait, you don't have a Psyker anymore. So now we're moving into the I'm just being a dick, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
And then we're moving into the shooting phase.
Okay, so,
well, technically, your commands. So what's going first?
Alright, he's going to order these guys the command to get back in the fight.
So they can shoot again? Yep.
But this guy moves, so he's got a -1 to shoot, so that's why I put that dice there.
Okay.
And then he's going to make a command on these guys to take aim.
Okay.
So he gets some rerolls. And then I'm going to use a command point that allows me to...
So you should be at what now?
Well, I'm at 5.
So you're at 5. I believe I still have 3 left.
And then I'm going to use a command point that after immediately issuing order, I can issue another one and you take aim on these guys.
Isn't it on a 4+ though?
I think it just happened.
He doesn't have to roll for it. I was thinking of the Warlord trait, so that was my mistake.
So this guy's going to get take aim.
Okay.
And then take aim.
Okay.
And then take aim.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'm in range. I thought it was, but
we'll measure and see.
Take aim
if he's within his 3 inches. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the ones that ran away from Magnus.
So they're gonna be hitting on a 5.
Okay.
Reroll it. Or no, not reroll. Sorry.
So this is the last cannon.
Yeah.
So it misses.
Miss. Then I'm gonna shoot all the guys. I don't know.
Okay. So the reason too, if you guys were wondering why he didn't shoot any of the last guns in the first turn, it's because his only real target was Magnus, and he's wounding Magnus on 6s, and I have my 3-up reroll in 1s. So he didn't think it was worth wasting that much time, wasting all those shots for maybe 1 possible wound. So yeah, that's why he didn't do it. But now I guess he's in dire situations, so he doesn't care about time now, and he just wants to shoot as much as possible to try to kill this giant demon monster. Alright, so you hit on 4s. Because they're not, or are they -1 for like leaving and shooting? No, it was only, okay. So then you got 3 hits, you wound on 6s. Nothing.
Okay, so the last gun behind that one.
So then the squad behind them, okay.
So hitting on a 4.
So last cannon on a 4.
Misses. But take aim.
Which is?
Rerolling.
Well, normally it would be reroll 1s, but because you're Cadian and you already have the reroll 1s, you reroll everything, correct?
Yeah, that's her special.
Yeah, that's why Cadians are the best.
Hits.
Okay, and then you wound on a 3. You wound. So Magnus did not get his Weaver of Fates off last turn, so this is only a 4-up, rerolling 1s. And he's okay. So bolt pistol from the sergeant. Misses, because it needs a 4.
Take aim though.
Take aim, rerolls.
It's 5, right?
Yep.
4. Oh.
So that's all the last guns. Yep. Should be 12 shots.
Yep.
Hitting on 4s.
Rerolling.
Because of take aim.
Oh. 3.
So Magnus has a 3-up armor save, but not re-rolling 1s. Doesn't matter, made all of them.
Okay. This last gun right here, or last
so this squad of infantry shooting at him? Okay.
Hits.
Wounds on a 3.
And
does not wound.
Alright, command point.
Okay.
Oh.
Does not. 1 always re-rolls into a 1, man.
Yeah.
So far on this channel, I'm pretty sure every re-rolled 1 from a command point always re-rolls into a 1.
The dice gods have decided.
Yep, the dice gods decided it was meant to be.
Okay, so I'll do last pistol from my sergeant.
Okay, so hits on 4, misses but re-rolls because of bullshit.
Nothing.
Okay, so we got 12 shots. Hitting Magnus on 4s with the last guns.
Re-rolling.
Because of take aim.
Yep.
And their Cadians. Not bad, you got another 3 more in there. And then you wound on 6s though. Should get at least 1 or 2 in here.
Another 3.
There you go, another 3. So I have 3 more 3-up armors. I'm okay.
I'll do these 2 guys back here. Those 2 Meltas, they're in range.
So the 2 Meltas in range of Magnus.
Yep.
Hitting on 3s.
Yep. And then
That was unfortunate. I'm sorry.
the hot shot pistol.
Hitting on a 3. You're just bad rolling today, man. So far.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this last cannon into Magnus.
Okay.
For 1.
Okay. So re-rolling because of your rule. Hits. Wounds on a 3. Wounds. Magnus has a 4-up. Re-rolling 1s. He's okay. 7 shots. Hitting on 4s. Re-rolling because of take aim. Then wounding on 6s. Nothing.
Okay, so I'm gonna fire this last cannon at that turkey. Misses, but take aim.
Okay. Still misses.
And then this last cannon at the turkey.
Okay.
Hits. Wounds.
5-up turkey save. Failed. So D6. 6. Big 6. So the hell turkey is down to 3 wounds. That's unfortunate for me.
This first one
So the first Torox Prime with the missiles
at Magnus.
into Big Bird guy.
So 2 crack shot missiles.
Okay. So
Hitting
hitting
on
on 3s. And wounding on 3s. I have a 4-up, re-rolling 1s. I'm okay. I've made a ridiculous amount of saves on this guy today. I'm starting to feel bad now.
That's okay.
It's a dice game though, man. Sometimes you get the rolls you want, sometimes you don't.
And you snooze, you lose.
So second Torox Prime is gonna shoot at... Can I give you a little hit of advice? Shoot the fucking hell
Yeah, I was
turkey.
gonna finish him off. Yeah, I'll finish off with so 2 shots.
Yep.
Hit on 3s.
Both hit, wounding on 3s. So I have 1 more 5-up. Can the hell turkey stop it? No. So D6, please roll a 1 or a 2. He rolls a 2. So the hell turkey lives with 1 wound.
Warlord into Magnus. I'm gonna
Okay.
overcharge.
You're overcharging with your warlord. Because why? Are you in pure fuck it mode now?
Okay, let's go shoot.
So you're not going to overcharge them?
No, just not 1 shot.
Okay. Because you don't have your command reroll either. Otherwise, I'd say it was an okay idea. But
Hits.
you already used it. So it hits. You wound on a 4 because it's only strength 7. So you wound. I got my 4-up, rerolling 1s. I've made every 4-up so far. This is nuts.
Like, we found out the new stratagem, now we're just going nuts.
Yep.
You don't even care, dude. That's pretty much all my shooting, I think.
So do you have any charges that you would like to declare? I wouldn't.
No, I don't have
Because you're just going to give me free kills, right?
Yeah. I got last pistol right here that I didn't shoot.
Okay, last pistol. Misses.
Hey, move.
To be honest, this game shouldn't be as one-sided as it's starting to look, but Magnus has made a ridiculous amount of saves. That and also the deployment, which we're going to talk about in the post-game, wasn't the best for the guard side, but again, we'll explain that in the post-game. We'll talk about it and give you guys some insights of what he was thinking and why he deployed that way and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's going to be the end of your turn. Do we have any morale to take? No, because the only thing you shot at was Magnus and the Hell Turkey, and neither of them have to take morale. So, yeah, it looks like we're going into... Well, that's the end of the battle round, so let's go see what the scoring is. I have my score sheet. In turn 2, I did kill something. I did kill more than Michele because I happened to kill his librarian and the scout squad, and he didn't kill anything. For objectives, I'm still on my objective, but I'm not on... Yeah, I'm on 2 objectives. Michele is also on 2 objectives, though, so neither of us get the bonus for that. I am not holding his primary, so I don't get that bonus. Kingslayer's already maxed out. Big Game Hunter, I did not kill another vehicle with 10 wounds. Reaper, I did not kill a unit with 10 guys, so I'm kind of missing out on the Reaper. I was thinking about that, too. I was going to pick something other than the Reaper, but the Reaper is the best that I got. Alright, and then for Michele, he again unfortunately didn't kill anything, but he is on an objective at least, so he gets that. Kingslayer, he did not do more than 3 damage to Magnus, so he doesn't get that. Recon, again, he hasn't left his deployment, so he hasn't got any points for that. And Old School, he didn't kill my Warlord, and Linebreaker and Last Blood is at the end of the game. So if you don't mind me asking, just because people are probably wondering, why would you pick Recon in an Imperial Guard army? Was it because you thought that your Scions were going to end up going in different corners?
Well, my Taurox Primes are pretty quick, so I thought like they could get out, but one got blown up. One, like, it was a really bad deployment, I think. I thought like I had my scouts, I thought I would get them in like the corners. I thought my Scions could deep strike in the corner somehow. I thought I was gonna somehow get around the corn dogs, but they got me. They got me trapped, and now it's a fight of survival. They ain't gonna make it.
Well, that's what these tournament practice games are for, right? Is you'd rather make these mistakes now than make them when you're in a tournament. And to give Michele some credit, he's only been playing the game for a few months now, basically since the beginning, well, almost the beginning of 8th edition. So yeah, he's still learning, and yeah.
I think this is a good lesson for like players that like, you know, the deployment's huge. Like, you know what I mean? Like I try to go big or go home. I was trying to put my tanks up there.
Well, it was a high risk, high reward, because if you did go first, you move up a little bit and you're in range of most of my infantry and you blow it up. Or even the dogs. You could have killed a lot of dogs.
But just, you know, the +1 on the...
Yeah, it made a huge difference. I tied you twice.
And then Magnus on deep strike too. That was a huge thing.
Well, even then, the Magnus deep striking in this game didn't necessarily help because I got first turn anyways.
Yeah.
But in a game where you would have went first turn, Magnus isn't going to take any damage while he's in the reserve.
And
so
then he deep strikes 9 inches and he still gets his warp time.
Which is, yep, and so he can still move into smack stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty good. And also, which Michele already mentioned, he admits he messed up on deployment and should have had some of his bodies in front of the tanks, so Magnus couldn't have charged it on turn 1. But that's a lesson learned for another day. So back to the points. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be... So after tallying up the score, it looks like it is 13 for Chaos to 2 for the Imperium. So with that said, we're going to go into Chaos turn 3. So here's the board after Chaos's turn 3 movement. So these cultists advanced and moved up. These cultists just moved their 6 inches because I wanted them in range to be able to shoot those 3 Scions. I also have the Hellbrutes moved up to make sure that they're all in range of those Tauroxes back there. We had Magnus fly from over there, right over here, to kill this Taurox. We had these dogs move from right about there. They moved up to start killing these infantry squads. The Hell Turkey flew back here, severely wounded, but ready to just flame some stuff and attack some guys. Just to, you know, be a nuisance. Over here, we have the Demons making their way up, possibly ready to charge some stuff. And because of the Loci of Khorne rule, because they are in their own detachment, that Khorne Demon Prince allows all Khorne Demons within 6 inches to re-roll their charges. So I'm pretty sure I'm getting those charges off this turn. And yeah, so that pretty much is about it. So let's move into the Psychic phase for Chaos. Like always, we're going to start with this Sorcerer right here, and he's going to give Prescience to that front one. So I need a 7. And of course, it doesn't go off. And I'm going to give it Delightful Agonies, which does go off. So that same front one now has Delightful Agonies, which for people that don't know, that's a 5-up, feel no pain. Magnus! Gonna cast his +1 invul, and there's nothing to deny him now because he killed the Psyker on the last turn. So I need a 6. Well, technically a 4 because he has his +2, so it goes off. Magnus is then going to smite this Taurox. It goes off on a 13, meaning
2d6.
2d6. Let's see.
Give me a break, man. Like, what's going on here?
I'm sorry that I'm rolling so hot. It just
you're doing good, man.
It's just how the game goes sometimes, man. So I need 2d6. If I get 8 here, I kill your Taurox without even having to touch it. And I got a 6. So you do live. You live with 2 wounds. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. So that means we're moving into Chaos shooting phase. So all of these cultists right here are all in range of those scions right there. So we're gonna have 10 shots, nope, 9 shots because the cultist leader has a shotgun. So 9 shots going into those guys. 9 cultist shots hitting on 4s because we're basically just Chaos Guard. And well, that's a lot of hits. So we wound you on 4s because you're only toughness 3 and our last guns are toughness or strength 3. Oh, only 2 though. So we failed 5. That's unfortunate. So you have 2 armor saves. What's their armor?
4.
So they have a 4-up armor, so 1 dies. Which one's taking the gunshot to the face?
It's like a Milto.
Alright, so moving on, we're gonna have these Hellbrutes. The first one is going to fire to the Taurox that's farthest away from my Helldrake. So right down the line, boom, hitting that one.
Okay.
Alright, so now shooting with the Hellbrutes. The first one that has prescience will be hitting on 3s because it moved. And it's going to shoot at the Taurox that's farthest away from the Helldrake. So this will hit on 3s because of prescience. So 2 hit. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds, you have 2 6-up saves. Failed both of them. So 2d6. We have a 6, you're down to 4 wounds. Next Hellbrute is going to hit on 4s because he moved. Rerolling 1s though. So 1 hit, wounds on a 3. You have a 6-up save, which is failed. Another d6, looking for a 4 here. You got a 3, so you live with 1 wound. So now, yeah, the third Hellbrute hitting on 4s. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound, 6-up. Oh, he survives! So the last Hellbrute, seeing if we can kill that Taurox. Hitting on 4s. Rerolling 1s. So 2 hit. Wounding on 3s. We have 1 5-up save. Does the Emperor protect? The Emperor protects.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a 5-up. It was only a missile launcher.
Oh, it was a missile launcher?
Yeah.
The Emperor does protect?
He does? He does? Question mark. Now the Hell Turkey is going to use his Flamer on the 1 wound Taurox to finish it off. So how many auto hits do I get? 5. So it's strength 6 against toughness 6. So we need 4s here to wound it. We got 3. So you have 3 5-up saves. Fail any of these, you're dead. You failed 2. So do you blow up? You blow up! So it'll be D3 mortal wounds within everything within, I think, 6 inches. You're going to command point? Okay. So it doesn't blow up. So you're down to how many command points? 3?
3.
So we're both tied at 3 command points now. So that Taurox is now dead. It did take all of the Hellbrute shots and the Flamer from the Helldrake, though, in order to kill it. And that's it for the shooting. We do have a Warp Bolter on the Demon Prince, but the 2 things he's going to shoot at, I'd rather just charge him. So I'm just going to do that instead. So with that said, let's go right into Chaos's charge phase. We're going to have Magnus charge this Taurox. So you do get your Overwatch. So which gun are you shooting first?
The Gatling cannon.
Okay, so Gatling cannon, so 20 shots, hitting on 6s. Got 2 in there, you wound on 5s. So I have a 3-up, re-rolling 1s. Oh! I have a 6-up, feel no pain, that I've hardly used this game. Still fail.
Do the Stormbolter now?
Stormbolter. Nothing. And then you have your hot shot volley guns.
Yep. 4 shots each, 2.
Wounding on 6s.
Well, they are
Strength 3?
4.
Or strength 4, so 5s. Nothing. Magnus's charge distance. Oh, look, he's in. Thunk. Next charge we're going to do is going to be... These are 2 different units, correct?
Yeah, there's the gold one, and
okay.
there's this guy.
So these dogs are going to charge both those units.
Okay. So I'll do the first last gun.
I mean last cannon?
Yeah, last
Okay,
cannon.
so it hits. I'm glad I didn't charge with the Hell Turkey. You wound on a 2. It's 2 squads that I'm charging, so fire with everything.
Yeah, okay, I'll do the second last cannon.
So second last cannon misses. All the last gun shots from both units, since I'm charging both, into the dogs. Hitting on 6s. And then you wound on 5s. 1. I have a 5-up dog save. I'm okay. So the dog's charge distance, they're in.
Okay.
The Hell Turkey is going to charge that squad right there, including the commander guy. So the commander guy can attack. So your pistol on a 6.
You could overcharge it, right?
Is it a plasma?
Yeah.
Go for it. Kill yourself.
Okay.
So he's overcharging his plasma. Nothing.
Nice. Kill yourself.
Charge is 7 in. There we go. Hell Turkey is now in. We're going to go to the back unit of dogs is going to attempt to charge the Scions. So you get your Overwatch.
Melta.
Misses. Pistol.
Nice.
Charge distance, and I'm re-rolling because of the Loci of Corn and because they're 6 inches or within 6 inches of the Demon Prince. I'm pretty sure I'm in with a 9.
Yeah, because you're 10 inches away, so I got it.
Okay, so those dogs are in. So that's for the dogs and their charge move. So the next corn dogs are going to charge that unit, this unit right here.
Okay.
All right, last cannon on a 6. Nothing. So here's the last guns hitting on 6s. I'm wounding on 5s. Nothing. So the dog's charge, probably needing what looks like maybe a 6-inch charge. We'll measure. I got a 7 that should be in. That's what the battlefield looks like after all of Chaos charges. So we're going to start with... You still have command points to interrupt. Let's start with the Hell Turkey. So the Hell Turkey has 2 attacks. He hits on 5s. I have 3 command points though, so I'm going to use Demon Forge. Might not be a good idea, but I really want to kill that commander. So that means I get to re-roll my hits and I re-roll my wounds. So I need 5s to hit, re-rolling. So re-rolling. Nothing. Damn. So that leaves me at 2 command points. Would you like to spend 2 command points to interrupt anywhere now?
No, actually I don't.
Okay, Magnus is gonna go then. Magnus, smacking the 2 wound Torox, has 7 attacks. He hits on 2s, re-rolls 1s. He then wounds on 2s. Your thing's dead because it's -4, and I'm pretty sure you don't have an invul. Does it blow up? No. So the Torox Prime is now dead. And then Magnus will consolidate, just like that. So then the next attack we're gonna do is these dogs right here. We're gonna do it all on this unit right there. So we have 15 attacks on the charge with the dogs, hitting on 3s, not re-rolling 1s because the Demon Prince is over there. So we had a good amount of hits. We only missed 3 out of the 15, so that means we have 12 hits. And we should wound on 3s because we're strength 5. Doesn't matter, even strength 4 would wound on guardsmen. On 3s. So you have 4, 8, 9 -1s, so 9 6-up saves. 9 6-up saves on those guardsmen. Can they live? Oh, you made a couple. So I took out 5, 6 wounds.
Perfect.
So I killed the whole squad, had just enough.
Oh.
So as for piling in, I'm going to just go like that. Good enough. Alright, so the next attack we're going to do, those 5 dogs are going to pile into the Scions and then attack. So they get all 15 attacks because they did charge. They hit on 3s, not re-rolling because the Demon Prince is too far. And then wounding on 3s. So you have 7 -1s, so 7 5-up saves. 7 5-ups, and they're dead. Alright, so the dogs ended up killing them. They're going to pile in 3 inches that way. And then these dogs over here are all going to pile in and then get their attacks. 15 attacks from those dogs on that unit of infantry. Hitting on 3s. Only missed 2. Wow. And wounding on 3s. Oh, that's a big chunk of not 3s in there. So it looks like you got 5, 6, 7. You have 7 minus 1s. So 7 6-up saves. 7 dead guys. So the dogs are just gonna stay there, but yeah, that they cleaned that spot up of the board pretty nicely. If you can start to see now, there's really not much left for the Imperium. They're slowly getting overrun by all of these demons and Chaos Space Marines. So now it would be the Imperium attacks back. So where are we starting?
This guy is gonna activate these guys?
Sure.
So this guy's gonna pile in 3 inches. Probably doesn't make it.
Nope. Shouldn't.
All 2 attacks on the dogs.
Okay. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 5s. Nothing.
Okay, so my commander is gonna go to
the Hell Turkey. It's the only thing he can hit.
I guess 3 attacks.
3 attacks. Hitting on 3s probably. Then wounding on 5s. Nothing.
The guys are just gonna go into the dogs.
Okay.
Actually, no. All the guys are gonna go into the Hell Turkey. I mean, I can.
You can only do 1, 2, 3 on the Hell Turkey.
Okay, so I'll do. Yeah, I'll do that.
So 4 attacks into the Hell Turkey and 3 attacks into the dogs.
Okay. The dogs.
The dogs hitting on 4s. Wounding on 5s. 5-up demon save. I've made every one so far. Nope, I failed that one. So I think it was this dog that somehow got punched in the face all the way back there. And then against the Hell Turkey, we have 4 attacks from those guardsmen hitting on 4s. Got 2 hits. You need some 5s. You're hoping for 2 5s here. Nothing. That's unfortunate. So it looks like everything attacked. So you owe me a couple of morale checks. So that squad, I don't think I did anything to because I just killed the other one that was in front of it. This squad, however, should be missing quite a bit. So how many did I kill? I killed 7 from that squad. And your only leadership's 6. So roll a dice.
Is in range of
Is it 6 inches?
6 inches.
Okay, but even then, wouldn't you just shoot him in the face to make him reroll? So it's like pointless anyways.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
So,
really. Yeah.
Because he's the last one in the squad, right?
Okay, so 7. So I gotta roll to see how many people run.
Well, how many people run plus 1? Because you're already 1 over your leadership. Because I killed 7 guys, your leadership's 6. So it's 1 plus whatever you roll. That's how many you're gonna run. So your squad's gone.
But don't I have to do that because he's in with the 6?
Nope, you don't have to. You can choose to do it.
So I'll just do it. They're all gonna run anyway.
Yeah.
I think.
And so 2 guys will run. Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's why morale sucks for stuff like Terminators and stuff like that. Because it's not just 1 damage. Yeah. It's the whole unit just runs away.
Dude, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yep.
Not half of them run. He doesn't.
Yeah, because the unit's not dying. You're not doing damage to them. They're literally running away scared or something like that.
Can't run away.
Yeah, yeah. Half of the Terminator runs away. All right, so it looks like that's going to be the end of my turn. So with that said, I should get a point for killing something because I killed 3 units. I killed the Taurox and the 2 infantry squads with the dogs. I also killed the other Taurox over there, so I actually killed 4 things this turn. That's a pretty good turn for Chaos. So I should get those 2 points, and unless Michele does some really devastating stuff in his turn, it looks like Chaos is going to run away with this game. So, going into Imperium, turn 3. Well, the guards movement phase is done, and not much moved because there's not much left. So, what did move?
This squad moved.
So they pulled out of combat?
And this guy moved out of combat.
Okay.
And I think that was everything. Yeah, that was everything.
Let's get a nice cool look of the battlefield here. So the command phase would be psychic phase, but your only psyker's dead, so command.
Okay, this guy's gonna get back in the fight to these guys.
Okay.
And on a 4+, you can give another command to a similar unit in this army.
Okay.
So he gives off to this guy, and then he's gonna do take aim on these guys, and that's my command phase.
So shooting. Let's see you shoot some demons down.
Hotshot volley guns and stormbolter into this guy, the turkey, and then I'll do my missiles into a hellbrute. So this hellbrute over here.
So the missiles downrange into one of those hellbrutes, and the other guns into the hell turkey. All right, so roll them right here because I'm lazy and don't feel like standing up.
Hotshot volley guns into the turkey.
Okay. So hitting on 3s. And then for wounds you need 5s because it's strength 4, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna use one of your dice because I don't feel like getting up. 3 up, I'm okay.
Okay, and then starbolter.
Hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s. 2, needing 3 ups. So he takes a wound, so he's down to 1. The Helldrake is down to 1 wound left. Alright, so missile launcher firing down range into the Hellbrute. So he would normally hit on 3s, but Alpha Legion, so you're hitting on 4s. So you got 1 hit.
I'm gonna command point.
Okay. Only 1 hit, you wound on a 3. No wound.
Okay, and then I'm going to use this last cannon into the Helldrake.
Okay. What's he rolling? Needs a 4, hits, wounds on a 3. Wounds. Mind if I use that? 5 up, demon save. No, so Helldrake goes down. Does he blow up? Nope. So,
There's blood.
I was just about to say, I believe this is the first model you actually killed, which is pretty bad.
This last cannon.
Okay.
Into this helper.
Okay. So you hit on a 5 because of Alpha Legion.
But my command went off.
So you re-roll. As long as it's not a 4, you can re-roll. You hit, you then wound on a 3. No wound.
I'm gonna shoot this last cannon into Magnus.
Okay. So he hits on 4, but that was a miss. So you re-roll, because I'm assuming you gave them that order,
Yeah.
right? So you hit, now you wound on a 3. You wound. Mind if I use that dice? I have a 3 up, re-roll them 1s. I'm okay.
This last cannon that fell back is gonna shoot.
So you gave them the order to allow them to shoot, right?
Yeah.
So he hits on a 5 because he did move. Misses. Okay. We didn't catch it on camera, but those guys were declared to shoot into the dogs, and normally we would, because we're playing it as if it's a tournament, and since he already is out of sequence, I normally wouldn't allow him to continue, but because this game is so one-sided, we're gonna just allow him to get off some shots. Just roll some dice. So you hit on 4s. Then you wound on 5s. Yeah, because your last guns are actually decent at killing them. So on 5s. You got 4. I have 4 5-up demon saves. Didn't make any, you killed 2 dogs. That unit of 5 dogs is now down to 3, and 1 of them is on a wound. Alright, and it looks like that's going to be it for the guard. So yeah, very, very dire. We're going to probably play out this last turn, just for the sake of it, but you guys can probably already tell which army's going to win this game. I had too good of a first turn, also combined with the fact that Michele had a suboptimal deployment. And I don't want to say bad target priority. It was just really good rolling on my part. You should be shooting everything into Magnus because he is the biggest threat, especially when he's like in your lines. But me denying Death Hex was huge. If you had Death Hex off, Magnus would rightfully be dead. But yeah, the dice gods just decided it wasn't going to go into your favor today. So, moving on to probably the final turn of the game, Chaos turn 4. Oh wait, we got to do the scores. So the scores, and then Chaos turn 4. So I did everything off of camera. I didn't realize I wasn't recording. But I did kill more than Michele did. I'm on more objectives than Michele, since I'm now holding that one, and I'm now holding that one over there. And because that's his primary objective, I get a bonus point for that. I finally maxed out Big Game Hunter, and I got 2 more points for the Reaper, which brings me to 23 altogether to Michele's 3, because he only got 1 more point for killing something. If you look at the score part for Astra Militarum, it looks very barren. there's nothing here. And yeah, that can all probably be chalked up to just the suboptimal deployment. People don't realize how big deployment is in this game, but Warhammer 40k, you can win or lose a game just with a good or bad deployment. So moving on to Chaos, turn 4. End of Chaos, this is turn 4, right?
Turn 4, yeah.
Turn 4. So the Demon Prince moved up from there, getting 8 inches away, well 9 inches, so an 8-inch charge against that unit. These dogs moved up, so now they can easily charge that same unit. These dogs are going to charge all that stuff right there. Magnus is going to charge the Warlord, which is that guy right there, and probably going to kill him. Those dogs are over there too. Cultists moved up a little bit. These cultists moved up a little bit. And then we have the Hellbrutes still back here. So that's the movement. Let's go into... Oh yeah, and then the other cultists that are still chilling back here on that objective. So now, Psychic Phase. Going to put Prescience on that same Hellbrute out front. And doesn't go off. I think it only went off once this game. Gonna give it Delightful Agonies. That does go off, so it now has a 5-up Feel No Pain. We're then gonna go to Magnus, who is gonna attempt to do Weaver of Fates and give himself a 3-up Invul. He perils! Whatever, I'll take it to the face. So I take how many mortal wounds? I take 2 mortal wounds. So I have 2 6-up Feel No Pains. I swear my dice aren't loaded. Okay, so then we go into, he's gonna then try to smite the unit that he's closest to. It goes off on a 5. So D6. You take 4 mortal wounds on that infantry squad. So there you go, 4 guys dead. Magnus is then, for shits and giggles, going to cast Warp Time. Goes off. Just get him a little bit closer to that guy. Make sure that I don't roll double ones again and fail my charge. So now it's time for shooting. We're going to start with the Hellbrutes. The Hellbrutes are shooting downrange at the final vehicle that's left. So, the first Hellbrute hits on 3s, rerolls 1s. And then wounds on 3s. So you have 1 5-up and 2 6-ups. 5-up. 6-ups, 3d6 damage, 10 damage. I think you're dead. And he rolled for explosion, nothing happened. Alright, so that was only 1 Hellbrute, so I still have the other 3 left to shoot at stuff. What am I going to shoot at? Time to blow up some infantry with las cannons and shit. Alright, so first Hellbrute is going to fire at whatever unit that guy's in.
By himself.
Okay. 2 las cannons and a missile launcher at the dude by himself. I hit on 3s. I wound on 2s. So you have 2... No, he's just dead. We're then going to have the third Hellbrute fire at... that squad back there. And I'm going to do the frag missile. So this orange one is how many shots I get. So I reroll this one. And then I'm going to wound on 2s. So 2 guys are dead. Then I have 5 shots because of that frag. I'm going to hit on 3s, reroll my 1s, and then I'm going to wound on 3s. So you have 3 5-up saves. And this is why I say to take the missile launchers aren't that bad, because against horde infantry like this, you can get some decent shots with that frag missile. So I killed 2 more. Then the final Hellbrute, same thing, 2 las cannons and then the 1 frag missile. So the orange one will be how many shots I get. So 1 hit with a las cannon, wounding on 2, guy's dead, and then I have 4 shots with the frag, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, wounding on 3s. You have 1 armor save. And it failed, so another guy dies. So that's what's left of the squad after being shot by all the Hellbrutes. So that's that shooting. I could shoot with these guys and those guys, but we're getting to the end here, and I'm just going to charge some stuff. Soap moving. Oh no, a greater demon of Slanesh has appeared. Okay, so these dogs right here are going to charge these 2, 3, whatever the fuck all this shit is. I'm charging all of them. All right, roll for it. Go. Overwatch, last cannon, misses. Rest of the shots, just grab a handful and roll them. I don't give a shit at this point. You got 1 hit, you wound on a 5.
Oh.
5-up demon save.
Oh.
No, you do a damage. So the dogs are gonna charge. Ah, they're in. Alright, this Demon Prince is then going to charge that unit right there, so I need an 8-inch. And I do re-roll because he is a friendly Khorne demon within 6 inches of himself, so that loci does apply to him. Oh! Dun 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 dun. Alright, and then Magnus is going to charge that squad, and that squad. Go!
Okay, plasma pistol, overcharging.
Overcharging the plasma pistol. He hits. He wounds on 3. He wounds. I have a 3-up. Reroll them 1s. I'm fine.
Alright, last cannon.
Last cannon misses. You have a second last cannon. Misses. And then a bunch of last pistols. Hitting on 6s. You got 2. Wounded on 6s. You got 1. 3-up. Reroll them 1s. I'm okay. Charge! And then these dogs are then going to charge 2. Is this unit in combat with Magnus?
Yeah, I think so. Well,
okay, so the dogs are just going to charge in then.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to start with Magnus against your Warlord. Okay, I'm going to do 4 against him and 3 against the squad with like 3 dudes. So against the squad, I'm going to hit on 2s. I'm going to wound on 2s. So you have 3 dead guys in that squad. And then I'm going to do all these on the commander. Hitting on 2s. Well, luckily it's 2s. Wounding on 2s. You have 4 5-up saves. 4 5-ups. So he takes 6 damage. And he is dead. So Magnus just picks up the Warlord and just crushes him in his hand. That's how damaging Magnus is. He's such a beast. Especially this game. He really showed off the power of a 3-up invul rerolling 1s. Moving on, we're going to have these dogs attack them. So we have 9 attacks from the Khorne dogs. Hitting on 3s, not re-rolling. Demon Prince is nowhere around. And then wounding on 3s. So you have, looks like 5 -1s, so 5 6-ups. 5 dead. Alright, now these dogs are gonna pile in. Okay, so I guess only 2 are... These 2 will attack that guy. These 2 will attack that guy. Okay. Actually, I lied. These 3 are going to attack that guy. This 1 is going to attack them. So the 3 against your regular commander, hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s. So you have 3 -1s on that commander.
This guy?
Yep, on that guy.
Okay.
What's the save?
5-up.
So you failed all 3. You take 3 damage.
Well, you got an invul, I think.
Oh, 5-up invul, so you take 1 damage.
Done.
Then the 1 dog against the regular guys. You got 1 -1, so 6-up. Oh, you made it. So now we have the Khorne Demon Prince finally getting to do something this game. He's going to attack that infantry squad. So, a Khorne Demon Prince has 4 base attacks. He gets 1 extra because he trades out his psychic abilities for 1 extra attack, because Khorne doesn't like psychic stuff. Then he also gets 3 more attacks because he has 2 claws. But he's also a Demon Prince, or a Chaos Demon Prince, so he has the Unstoppable Ferocity rule. So because he charged, he gets another attack. So this Demon Prince gets 9 attacks. He hits on 2s and rerolls 1s. So it looks like a full house. And then this Demon Prince also gets an extra strength on the charge, making him strength 8, but that's not a... He's still going to wound on 2s anyways, because these guys are only toughness 3. And this is -2, so you have that many dead guys.
Yeah, I think that's everybody.
So the whole squad's just gone.
Yeah.
And then with that done, we're not even going to do the attacks back, because you can see the whole Astra Militarum army right here. And it's not much. It's 1 Taurox Prime. Yeah, it's just 1 Taurox Prime and a couple of infantry guys. And Magnus is still basically full health. The dogs are basically full health. The Demon Prince is basically full health. It was a really bad game for the Imperium. They only killed, I believe it's the Helldrake and 2 Fleshhounds is all that died this game.
Yeah, it was.
So it was definitely a one-sided game. Hopefully the next game we get on this channel won't be so one-sided, because so far, no, we have 3 games so far. The first one's kind of even, but the next 2 are definitely landslides. So yeah, we're gonna... Well, anyways, that's going to be the game. I guess right now, let me take a seat, and we're going to do a little post-game discussion. Hey everyone, Brady here. So my camera happened to die about 3 minutes into our post-game discussion. Because of this, I'm going to take some measures in the future to make sure that my camera stays on long enough for me to record everything that I need. To be honest, I usually just leave the camera idle too long when nothing is happening, but I'm slowly getting better at it. But yeah, for the post-game analysis. This game turned out to be completely one-sided, but I think Michele's army was still good and could still stand a chance in a competitive environment. He just happened to misplay really hard on deployment and gave up too many advantages. I did, however, bait him into deploying like that by putting everything I had outside of all of his weapons range. We talked about it after the game, but his most optimal deployment would have been putting all of the tanks at the back edge of the board and then bubble wrapping in layers with the guardsmen. He knows most of my army is melee, except for the Hellbrutes, so he definitely has more DACA than I do. He should have done what I did in the Death Guard Batrep, and he should have played patiently and let me come to him so he can blow me up. If he had a proper deployment, I only kill 2 infantry squads at best with Magnus, using Smite and going into close combat. And he opens fire with everything on Magnus next turn and kills him through weight of fire. Or at least should kill him, but with how hot I rolled this game, I honestly don't know if the extra shots would have made a difference, but who knows. Anyways, Michele is scheduled to come back and play another Batrep next week, so you guys can look forward to that. Also, sorry the last couple Batreps were one-sided, but I promise future ones won't be as bad, and hopefully you guys still enjoyed this game. Hopefully you learned something. Well anyways, that should be it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button or subscribe button, and if you really enjoy the channel and want to help support us, you can check us out on Patreon. All pledges go back into the channel, whether it's new equipment for Batreps or new codexes to do reviews with. It all goes back into the channel to make great content for... It all goes back into the channel to make better content for you guys. Well anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Happy wargaming!